Oh my goodness, I just got here. I had to come running in from the powder room because I was still putting my hair up, putting makeup on to get ready for our tea time today. And then I had to run in and turn the music on for the dogs. So how is everybody doing this morning? I hope everyone's doing well. Let's put our banner across the bottom to tell you guys where you can get some of this fun stuff that we've been sharing for the last 21 days. Today is day 21 of our 24 days of tea for David's Tea Advent Calendar. So I've got my cup. Do we have any water? Did I put water in my tea kettle? Oh, I need water in my tea kettle. Give me a second. Okay, I don't need too terribly much, but if you haven't seen my tea kettle yet, oh gosh, am I loving this tea kettle. It's electric, heats our water up to the proper temperature for our tea. I have to plug it in. I'm so far behind on things. I have to plug it in. So it warms our tea up to the proper temperature. Good morning. You're stuck on an ad. What do you mean oh, sorry. I got you. Thank you for letting it play. I appreciate that. So we just filled up our tea kettle, and let's see what else is going on today. Been running behind. I'm going to share a story today for Brampton Gardner. I had decided this morning because Brampton Gardner shared something with me a little while ago, and I thought, you know what? Today's story is going to be dedicated to Rochelle over at Brampton Gardner because it applies to something that she shared with me, and she was very, very excited about it. And I was like, okay, yay. But I could not share her enthusiasm. So I will share the story as to why. As much as I love Rochelle, could not share her enthusiasm about something that she had shared with us. So let's go ahead and let's get our Advent calendar. Look at day 24, 24 days of tea, not day 24, we're on day 21. But I have day 20. I used it all yesterday. I used all of day 20. I really enjoyed it. It was called Sleigh Ride. So I'm going to put that back in our box here. I wish there was a graceful way. Hello. I wish there was a graceful way for me to do this without, like taking out an eyeball and all that other stuff. But there's not. I always just kind of flub it up. In fact, I really did just hurt myself doing that. Okay, so here we have our 24 days of tea. You can see how many we've already turned over. Today we're going to grab tea 21 for the 21st of December. And it's right up here in the corner. It is a beautiful little red and green box. We'll take a look at that. Rochelle, you missed while you were watching the ad, and thank you for doing that. Graceful, I know, not my middle name. Is the music too loud, guys? Let me know if the music is too loud. Hopefully it will keep the dogs kind of calm. So I've got my glasses, but today's tea is going to be dedicated to you, Rochelle, because you shared something with me. And it made me think, I need to share that story. So Harley's walking around in circles on the floor. Poor little guy. He's got dementia now, so all he does is just walk in circles. Breaks my heart. I love that little guy so much. Okay, day 21. I'll take my curlers out here in a second, but let's see what we've got for day 21. I told you, you never know how I'm going to show up to these things. Okay, thank you. The music is fine. Thank you. Ooh. It's another pretty one. It's not overly pretty, but it does have a lot of goodness going on in there. We'll read our ingredients and we'll see what we've got for our beautiful tea today for the 21st of December. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Little House in the Big Woods. We've just taken out, I'm sorry, hairball. Day 21. Let's see what it smells like before we read the list of ingredients. Oh gosh, that's concerning. There's little brown little things in here. Let me see if I can pull one out. I'm sure they're little baby chocolate chips. Let's see if I can take them out without dumping my tea everywhere. These little teeny tiny little teeny little chocolate chips, but I thought it was a mouse turd. That's what it looked like right away. Okay, let's see what this smells like. It's a sweet one. What's that smell? Okay, yeah, I think it's because I picked up the little chocolate thing. I could smell the chocolate. And I don't know what else there is. Let's go ahead. We're going to pour half of it into our infuser. I'm just going to do it up here today. Oh, I saw a big chunk of something fall out. Was that a hazelnut? That's about half. We'll take care of that there. And let's go ahead and read the ingredients on the back. Hopefully not like a turd, right? I just looked like a turd. It's that time of year where all of the little field mice have come over to the farm, so everything looks like a turd. You're on high alert the whole time. I didn't even read what the name of it was. What's the name of our tea today? Oh my goodness. Falling behind. Oh, hazelnut chocolate. So we were right about the chocolate, and I was right that looked like a hazelnut being dumped in there. Hazelnut chocolate. Let's find it. Very first one right here on our box. All of our ingredients are listed on the back here. So what do we have? Today we have Pu'er tea. It's P-U and then an apostrophe and E-R-H. Pu'er. Pu'er tea. Apple. Cocoa peel. Chocolate hazelnut flavoring. Chocolate. Brittle pieces, which contains sugar and hazelnut. Cocoa pieces, hazelnut, and stevia extract. Very, very nice. See here, it is, it's a Pu'er tea. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. We're going to heat our water to 200 degrees. We're going to steep it 4 to 5 minutes. So let me go ahead and get the water started. 200 degrees start. We're going to get that going. And you know what? Let me take my curlers out real quick because I'm a little self-conscious. They haven't only been in, but maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes. I don't know how much curl I'm going to get. Not too bad. Look at that. Not too bad at all. I got to look a little more presentable for you guys. But I'm loving these little curlers. If you ever come across these little Conair curlers at a yard sale, or somebody's giving them away and they're like, I don't know how to use them. If they're a really good friend, you could say, let me tell you a secret on how to use them, and then show them my video on the tips and tricks on how to use these Conair. Or if you can pick them up really cheap for yourself, grab them. They're a great way to curl your hair. I'm loving it. I've been using these since the 90s. And I've gone through several sets because I use them so much. Oh, I forgot one back here. Can't run your fingers through your hair when you got a curler stuck in it. Okay. I'm reversing the camera, so I thought I was doing one side and I accidentally ran my hangers through the other one. Okay, there we go. Can you see the static? Oh my gosh, it's so staticky here in the house today. We are on blizzard watch. We're expecting a blizzard to come through, blowing through this afternoon. So Papa Jim and I discussed what we needed to have for provisions. We've got everything we need. We've done really well at preparing. So we don't need to pick up anything from the store today. We have all we need in case we get snowed in for Christmas. So water is heating up. We've read our ingredients. Let's do the mail call real quick because I'm so happy with the mail call. Dollar General has, the curlers, not the heated one, but the curler ones. Or are they heated, Denise? You know if they're heated or just curlers. So look what came in the mail. Let me make sure I'm not giving anybody's address away. Look at this. Look what came in the mail. This big thing came in the mail. And when I got it in the mail, I looked at the return address in Wichita, Kansas. I don't know anybody. Hello, Equus. I don't know anybody in Wichita, Kansas, as far as I know. So I didn't know where this came from. My hair. So I opened it up and look at what was inside, guys. I'm going to grab this out of here. It was so neat. Tissue paper. It's like Christmas has come early. Okay. There's this bag in here, right? There's something in it. It's only, what, maybe 12 inches wide here? Hello, Barabbas. Just the curlers, not the heated ones. Okay. All right. So I opened up this box that came in the mail. And you guys wait until you see what's in it. If you've watched my channel before and you know anything about my channel, you know that I love to preface a lot of my videos with Hilda. And Hilda is a plus size pinup girl. If you don't know much about Hilda, there is a video on my channel where I talk about Hilda, give you the whole story about Hilda and how she came into being, and the very neat story about the man who is the artist who draws Hilda. So when I opened this up, I was just thrilled because this is a 1965 Hilda calendar. Look, 1965. It is an authentic Hilda calendar. Has all 12 months. All of them are here. Look how cute she is. I love her. I love Hilda. And so somebody knew that I loved Hilda. There she is with a scarecrow, with the bandana in her hair. I like to wear bandanas in my hair sometime. So, and then on the back, a man had this in his garage, and on the back he kept track of everything probably not in his garage, either in his garage or in his basement, because he kept everything on here for the air conditioner and the furnace. When he changed the oil, when he did the screens, when he did the pads, when he put fluid in, all this stuff he kept track of. Isn't that amazing? But nobody telling me who sent it. I could not figure out who sent it. I don't know anybody in Wichita, Kansas, but I just love this little calendar, and I cannot wait to get it hung up in my craft room. And I'll see if I can use some of the images now for my future videos. So I was talking to my very best friend the other day. Our water went off. Let's get our water into our tea, and then I'll continue on with this story. So let's bring our infuser over. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that neat? And hello, Barabas. Equus is glad you're here. I'm going to bring the camera down. Let's get our water into our tea and see what kind of tea dance we get today. So there we are, right there. I even cleaned my bunny out just in case, but we don't need it today because this is an actual tea. And there we go. Are we going to get a tea dance? I see a floating hazelnut. The hazelnut is floating. Let's give this just a little stir. Not much of a tea dance today because we have so many other things. Let's help it along. Oh, it smells pretty. I'm going to put the lid on. And we're going to move this over. So it's going to smell like an almond roca because it has chocolate and it has hazelnuts. And Rochelle's already saying she'll claim sending me that calendar. Got to tell you. Wow, so cool. Someone here looks a lot like Hilda. That was, I saw her and I thought I can relate to her. She's always painting herself in a corner. She loves animals. She's always into some kind of shenanigans. So I was talking to my very best friend and I said, did you send me something in the mail? And she said, yes. Did you send me a Hilda calendar? She goes, yes. Do you know how hard I had to look for that to get a Hilda calendar? What did I just spit on the spitting oatmeal at you guys? She goes, it was so hard for me to find it with the year you were born. It's like, how long have you known me? And she says, well, I've known you since you were 8. I said, well, then you should know I wasn't born in 1965. She got the year wrong. I'm not quibbling, though. I'm not quibbling over the fact that the year is wrong because that is quite all right. Hello, Major. But I don't even know. I love these ones. I love these ones of Hilda. This is for the month of February. I love it when she's in her long johns at the wood stove. I love that. I would love to get a pair of long johns and go out to the summer kitchen and get an old tea kettle. I have this. I have the milking stool. I need to find an old tea kettle, an old coffee kettle. And I need to get some long johns and do my hair and then go sit out and recreate some of these pictures in my summer kitchen. Wouldn't that be fun? What a wonderful friend. And the tea does sound wonderful. It's steeping now. If you have not seen my Hilda video, you need to see Hilda. It's such a neat story about her. I don't want to give too much of it away because I'd love for you to go watch the video and give it a thumbs up if you like it, because it is so sweet. It is such a neat story. I don't know that I can recreate this one though. Wouldn't it be hilarious to do this? How would I recreate this though? My goodness. And look at the little dog, looks like my little Harley. Look at the little dog, looks like Harley. Well, Papa would have to take the pictures unless I pose and then put my hand in front of the camera to get it to automatically take. But she's not wearing much there. I don't know if I can get by with this mom bod. Oh, look at this one. Look how fun. She's having so much fun. Does she have her dog in her lap? She does. Look at the look on the poor dog's face. Poor dog. Oh, that dog is petrified. This is one of my favorite ones. Oh, I love this one. I want to know what she's thinking. And you know, I've had the pictures before that I put at the beginning of a lot of my videos, but seeing it firsthand, I see things I didn't see in the images on the computer before. So I love this one of her. She's just, you know, she's picked some apples. She's in her little denim shorts, and she's just leaning up against the stump of a tree there, and she's thinking. I never noticed the tugboat before. Look at the boat. There's a boat. I never noticed that before. I am loving this. I'm really loving this calendar. So thank you to my friend who sent this to me. I will treasure it always, even though I wasn't born in 1965. Or is it a 66? No, 60. Well, it starts with December 65, and then it really begins February. Where's January? Hey, I think my friend got gypped. Oh, wait, no. January's at the top, February's at the bottom. Okay. So it starts for 66. I wasn't born in 66 either. Hilda video. Oh, thank you for doing that, Rochelle. Thank you. Now, guys, you have the link to the Hilda video if you'd like to see that. Oh, goodness. So I was so happy. I've been waiting to share that with you guys. I was so thrilled about the Hilda. I loved it. Okay. I don't think this is steeped 5 minutes yet. Let's do our Advent calendar while we're still waiting for that to steep. Let's see what our little sixth graders have to say today. How are my content creator friends doing? Do you know that YouTube and all the powers that be, they've taken like 18 subscribers away from me this week? Boop, just gone. I was doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden the numbers, either that or people just don't love tea. I don't know. Let's get our little kindness calendar queued up here for our little kids. Today is the 21st. Look, guys, we're on our last row of our Advent calendar. On our last row, our last week. Do you know I've never done an Advent calendar before, ever? I've never done an Advent calendar, and here we are doing Advent calendar for tea and an Advent calendar for our little sixth graders. So let's click on day 21, and we'll read what they have to say. Let me get caught up here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Your views are down. My views are down, but it's just weird that all of a sudden things are just going away. So for day 21, give someone a random gift, like a Hilda calendar. So here are these little ones standing at the mountains, and they're gifting each other something for the holiday. I'd be a little worried about the pterodactyls flying overhead. Those are some pretty big birds. Okay, and these little guys, they only have 3 fingers to defend themselves with, so I'm a little worried for them. Okay, no worries, Rochelle. Okay, let's see what they have to say today. Giving someone a random gift can make people very happy. Do you see how happy I am with the Hilda calendar? Oh my gosh. Giving a gift is simple. You can make one or buy one. Giving someone a random gift can make people very happy. These are written by 6th graders, but I always feel like the teacher says, now you have to have at least 100 words, so they're going to repeat their sentences. Give someone a gift because it makes them feel good. Giving a gift is simple. You can make one or you can buy one and give it to your friend or neighbor. It doesn't need to be something big. It isn't about the present as much as it is the act of giving. I love how they repeated themselves more than once. Sweet things. Oh, goodness. Okay, these are gingerbread men. I was a little concerned for the gingerbread men for a second there. I thought maybe they were like, showing their bones and their anatomy there. There's 2 little gingerbread men, and one's giving the other one a gift. I'm concerned that they're like skeleton gingerbread men, but I'm sure that's their icing. They just did it in a funny color. I was like, whoa. Do you know the gingerbread man? The gingerbread man, the gingerbread man. Random gifts are the best. They absolutely are. It's the holidays. People are so busy, it's my guess, why the views are down. Yeah, probably, and that's okay. You know what's funny is when I had Papa Jim do a series of videos with me last year, I said, let's video record our maintenance for our pellet stove. He said, why? I said, because people might experience an issue with their pellet stove, and where are they going to go to find out information? They're going to go to YouTube. So we did a 3-part series on how to clean out the T-pipe for your pellet stove, how to unclog a clogged auger, the auger that spins the pellets into the burn box, and how to clean out your pellet stove to prepare it for a fire. And just in the last 28 days, I mean, we've had it up for a year, but just in the last 28 days, the one to clean out the auger that's jammed, 1,200 views in the last 28 days. So that is consumable content. I told Papa Jim, nobody's going to rewatch these lives. I just love getting together with you guys. So I'm not doing this for the content part of it. I love it because I get to visit with you guys and have tea. But the ones that are getting the views are the consumable content where people need answers to something. So that's really working out well for the stove. Could be a sticky situation. Let's give this just a little stir. Do you think it's been 5 minutes, guys? La 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 la. Who knew you were going to get dinner and a show? Okay, let's bring the camera down and let's go ahead and get our tea into our little cup here and see how this is looking. I think we've been at 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this down to our cup right here. Let's go ahead and get this beautiful blend into our cup. Isn't that a pretty color? You know, I told myself, I said yesterday, oh my gosh, these guys can't see how beautiful the colors are on some of these teas. And I wish you could see them. And I told myself I should bring my candling flashlight, so I could shine it from, one side to the other so you could see the true color. Because that doesn't look appealing. That looks like mud. But it's a beautiful amber color. It's so pretty. Let me grab my candling flashlight, see if it makes a difference. Let's try it. I have my egg candling flashlight handy. Hopefully the batteries are still good. It is. I just accidentally flashed you guys in the eyeballs. Let's hold it up and see what it does. Let's candle our tea today and see if we could get a true representation of the beautiful color. And that would be a no. It does. Oh, look, there we go. That's a pretty amber color. I wish I would have had this yesterday so you could see how pretty Sleigh Ride was. Sleigh Ride was so pretty. It was the color of pomegranate juice. Okay. So we've got our tea. Let's smell it now that it's brewed. It's got that sweet pipe smell again. Remember that last time we had a tea that had that sweet pipe smell? Kind of threw me off a little bit. Hey, Tiny Tim. Hello. Major, you pressed the wrong button. It is a nice amber color, isn't it? So again, this one is called Hazelnut Chocolate Tea. Let's give it a sip. I haven't added any additional sweeteners, but I do have my monk fruit handy. So let's see. That's nice. You can taste the chocolate, you can taste the hazelnut, and you can taste the stevia. I'm going to say I need just a little bit more though. Let me get the monk fruit because I do enjoy a sweet tea, but not like down in Tennessee sweet. That's sweet tea or Texas sweet. but just a little Midwest sweetening going on here. It's so nice to have Tiny Tim join us. Lots of family love going on in the chat. All right, let's stir this up here and let's try it again with just a little bit more of the monk fruit sweetener. Oh, wait, pinky's up. That's hard with this size little cup. That's nice. That is a very nice tea. Oh, goodness. You can feel the heat go all the way into your chest, and it feels so good. Today's a chilly one. We're expecting snow this afternoon, and if anybody's been watching the news about the weather, you know that we're in for a big storm. Big storm. So we're supposed to start getting the snow this afternoon, and it's not that we're supposed to get a lot of snow, it's the winds. We're going to have 50-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to have frigid, below zero wind chill temperatures, and I think we might just be stuck on the farm for a while. So, and poor Papa Jim, he used all of his paid time off to go on our trip, so I don't even know. I can't stand what they call Texas sweet tea. It's a little bit much. It's its own food group, right? Because it's just like, it's in a class all of its own. Too sweet for me. Can't do it. Okay, let's do our story while we sip on our tea, because I told you guys before Rochelle was able to come on that I'm dedicating this story to Rochelle, because Rochelle shared something with me. I have to find it. Rochelle shared something with me the other day, and I was very happy for her. But for me, I had to feign my excitement because it wasn't exactly my cup of tea. So let me see if I can find my story, and we'll read a story from my blog. And it's just for Rochelle. And Rochelle's probably going, oh my gosh, what did I say? 13 with negative wind chill predicted there in Texas. Yes. It's going to be a chilly one. Let me find it. The way they've got these things laid out. Aha. Okay, here it is. And Rochelle, this one's for you. You're scared? Don't be scared. You should be scared though, because the way you and I chit chat back and forth, it should be scary. It's notable. Currently, it is a balmy 9 degrees Celsius in South London. I still have difficulty exchanging Celsius for Fahrenheit. Okay, here we go. This story is called The Big Fish, the one we wished had gotten away. So to preface this, Rochelle had shared with me that she was going to be grilling some ahi tuna, and she was very excited about it, and, you know, crossed my fingers that she got it done right. And then she wrote back later and said it was delicious. I was like, yay, that's nice, where I just don't like fish, period. So I had to feign existence, or not existence, but excitement. I've never liked fish, ever. And it comes from this story, because I'm sure before this happened, I'm sure I ate fish all the time because my father was an avid fisherman. But when this happened, that was it. I was pretty much done. No one's home here. Oh, no one's homes here are built for the cold. Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys had enough warning down in Texas and everything to be prepared for this cold blast that's coming through. I think a lot of people learned a lot of really important, I don't want to use the word lessons, but gathered a lot of great information to know how to be prepared, because I think it's going to start happening more and more. You only like each fish: sushi, smoked salmon, and ceviche. Okay, so here's my story about the big fish that we wished. I was going to say raw fish. There you go. That sounds better to me. Okay. The big fish, the one we had wished had gotten away. The one we wish had gotten away. I'm tongue-tied this morning. All right, let's take my my headband off here and put them on my eyeballs where they belong. Okay. This was written September 22nd, 2012. So a little over 10 years ago. 48 degrees in the UK. Thank you. 48.2 is 9 degrees Celsius. It'll never stick in here, I promise you. Okay. So my story starts out. Today, I was to have lunch with all of my coworkers from the special education department for the school I work for. We had been assigned an entire half of the dining area of an all-you-can-eat buffet at a local luxurious casino. And it was really I loved going to this casino. When we would have our conferences, our yearly conferences, they put us up in the rooms, and we just had beautiful banquets and award ceremonies and parent events that the parents could come to, and we'd have lunches and stuff. So, as we all gathered at the buffet, 2 co-workers and I were separated while checking in, and we were seated on opposite sides of the dining room, which I wanted to sit with her. While perusing the salad bar, and then it's like wink, wink, you know it was the dessert bar, I had been approached by our director of the department, and it had been suggested that we join the rest of the group. Once I had my salad on my plate, wink, wink, brownies, and everything was appropriately plated, I made my way to the group, but was stopped dead in my tracks as a coworker, I'm going to puke, as a coworker walked right in front of me with a platter draped and dripping with overwhelmingly stinky king crab legs. Yuck. I mean, and they were like hanging off the edges and stuff was dripping out of them. Oh, God. I promptly made an about face and distanced myself from the smelly, stinky, exceptionally grossness that was before me. I quite literally let out an involuntary retching sound as I nearly puked in the middle of the dining room. As I hastily fled in the opposite direction, I offered an apology from over my shoulder, murmuring something about how I just simply cannot stand the smell of anything seafood, anything fishy, can't do it. The guttural reaction I displayed that day goes back much further than just the last few months of my self-imposed vegetarian state of mind. So not only did I not care for the fact that it was seafood, but I had started my journey of not eating any type of meat, chicken, fish, nothing like that. So no, this is directly connected to a childhood memory that even the best of the psychotherapists will not be able to ever erase from my mind. When I was 6 or 7 years of age, my family lived in open cattle country in a little place called Dolan Springs, Arizona. This open range cattle country desert community is located about 72 miles beyond BFE and is in the middle of nowhere. Chances are you've never even heard of the place. Hello, lovelies. My family lived right off of the main highway in a single wide trailer, void of any modern convenience we now take for granted. This is the same trailer that I shared the story earlier about getting the bike, and we lived in the trailer where the cows would come scratch their backs on the trailer. So this is where we were. And I'll show you, this is similar. This is very similar to what I grew up in. See there? Just a trailer out in the middle of the desert and a random motorhome used as additional bedrooms for my brothers. Now, this isn't our actual setup, but it's one much like it. I might have a picture of it here. I don't know. Oh, goodness. We did not have a city sewer system. We had a septic tank that my dad put in. We had no running water. We had to take a water tank to another community, and my dad would fill it up and then truck it back in and remind me to tell you a story about the water tank. So, oh wait, it says right here, I put it in the story. It says we had water that had to be trucked in every so often and filled up. And then I said, shh, don't tell anyone. But my brother and I swam in that tank at the time, not thinking it was our drinking water. Oh, goodness. We had that's some of my fondest childhood memories of swimming in that tank. Wait, I don't know. I was in my 30s when my dad finally found out. And our electricity was wired in from a line off the telephone pole at the street. I know we didn't even have a phone. I put in my story, I wasn't sure we had a phone. I know we didn't have a phone, and there was no cell phones. There was no landline. We just lived in the middle of the desert. So we were really roughing it while we lived out there. I can only imagine how depressing it must have been for my mother to live there with all 4 of her children. My dad, on the other hand, was able to escape during the week as he worked across the state line at Kaiser Steel in California and would be gone from Monday through Friday, only returning home on the weekends. One year, my dad proposed a deep-sea fishing trip with the promise to my mother that he would take the rest of the family on a nice, well-deserved vacation far away from the desert's oppressive heat and windstorms when he returned. My mom agreed to the deal, and off he went for an adventure on the high seas. He went to the Pacific Ocean. He always went to the Pacific. He returned a few days later with a grin from ear to ear. I remember how proud my dad was when he returned from that trip with the prize catch of the day. Not only had he snagged the biggest catch of the trip, but he had also won the money pot for doing so. So they would award everybody would put some money into the pot. Whoever got the biggest fish got all the money. But it was nothing compared to how proud he was of that yellowfin tuna that he carted 200 miles back home. And I do have a picture here. You guys ready? This is a picture of the trailer we lived in. No skirting or nothing. There was like rattlesnakes and scorpions underneath it. So here's me and my dad. I'm 6 or 7 with the yellowtail tuna. Let me get, so there's not a glare. So there's my dad. You can see the trailer back there. And there I am. I mean, that fish is almost as big as I am. That's a pretty big fish. He was very proud of that fish. Make sure we don't. Fresh crab should not be stinky, right? I remember, and it might not have been stinky to the normal seafood connoisseur, but it had the seafood smell. I don't do any of it. At some point after that picture was taken of my dad and I outside the trailer with that fish, he skillfully cut, sliced, dyed, chopped, filleted that poor fish into tuna steaks, which my mother promptly wrapped in saran wrap and foil and placed into the freezer with the promise of stews, casseroles, salads, and whatever else one does with tuna. Apparently grilled ahi. Right, Rochelle? So, with the man trip a distant memory, my parents loaded up the family truckster and we headed off for a family getaway. I don't recall where we went, and I'm certain it wasn't all that great. Certainly not Hawaii or anything grand. Most likely, it was a trip to Las Vegas to visit our extended family, which for my mother probably wasn't much better than hell and the solitude of the desert. But the thought of civilization, running water, air conditioning, and adult conversation would be enough to make a week or more with one's mother-in-law a paradise in and of itself. If memory serves, we were gone about 2 weeks that summer. Not that it's important, really, to say how long we were gone, other than to note that we were gone from the trailer for an extended period of time. We're not sure when it happened, but at some point while we were away, a summer storm blew through the region and lightning knocked out the power to our home. I will pause here for a moment to let you complete the perhaps not so obvious equation in your head. And I put a little mathematical equation right there. 60-foot long tin can, aka the trailer. Subtract electricity. Add summer temperatures of over 100 degrees. Add 50 plus pounds of tuna now rotting in the defrosting freezer. And add the extended fermentation time. And it equals a nose hair curling stench that permeates the senses and stays with you for the rest of your life. I put this little cartoon in there because that's exactly what it was like. That's how bad it was. I have the vision clearly ingrained in my mind of my parents opening that trailer door when we got home. The stench was unbearable, the reality unimaginable, and I'm sure you can only imagine the reaction. I hope that doesn't come up as a snippet for the tea when you're going through videos. Oh my gosh. All of that tuna had defrosted in the freezer, and all of those fish juices ran out the drain in the back and down all the coils on the rear of the fridge, onto the floor, through the cracks of the linoleum and into the plywood subfloor. And it baked in the hot summer sun the entire time we were away. We kids had it easy. My mom would just kick us outside to do what we needed to do while they addressed the issue. But my poor parents had to clean up that mess. I don't recall a lot of it, but certainly there had to be maggots involved by that time, which would only be secondary to the inconvenience of the stench. We were too poor. I mean, I showed you our living conditions. We were too poor to simply toss out the old fridge and buy another. No, it had to be salvaged and cleaned, and every effort was made to rid the fridge and the trailer of the smell. Thank you for not telling me this story on Monday. Fish-related horror stories. My mother resorted to burning coffee on a hot plate placed inside the fridge. She ran a hot plate inside the fridge, and then she would just burn coffee to try to get the smell away. I honestly don't know how my mother survived. She truly was a saint. So those of you who know me, and even those of you who don't, I hope this provides you with a better understanding of why I will not be joining you at Red Lobster or a clam bake or the fish market at the pier. Don't try to convince me that I will like fish if it's prepared the way that you do it. I'll love it. No, it never works. I simply do not want it. It's one of those childhood memories that stay with you forever. I simply cannot stomach it, and that is no fish story. So I had a comment on this one. Someone commented, and they said, yeah, things like that stick with you forever. She remembers when her dad was a manager of a hotel. Yeah, somebody hadn't been accounted for like 10 days, and her dad found that someone. She still has that memory. It was horrible. My dad worked up north one summer. His mom moved to a new city. He came home tired. This house had running water. He drank his fill of cool well water, went to take a nap, to wake up to sounds outside. Oh, and it's going to be continued. Barabbas has gone off a fish for life now. By the well, Dad asked what's going on. The man said his missing cat has drowned in the well. My dad, Tim, who I just showed you, caught that fish. I have to tell you guys who my dad is, because I have my dad and my father. I've got two dads. So my dad, that's the dad that raised me that I showed you in the picture there. When he was a little boy, he didn't put the cover back on the well. And 3 little goats fell into the well. And then he covered the well back up and didn't say anything. Yeah, that's gross. That is gross. Oh, but the poor cat drowning in the well. Gosh darn it. My dad felt really bad about those little goats for a long, long time. I'm telling you. My whole family got sick on some bad moose. When I was little, no one could eat it again. Oh, I hear ya. Well, we grew up so poor. We really did grow up so poor that it was very rare that we had any source of meat growing up. And I remember I was in the 7th grade, and I may have shared this before, I don't know. I was in the 7th grade, and I came home from school, and my mother had prepared a beautiful roast, like this big. And at dinner, we had bread and butter and carrots and potatoes. This big, beautiful roast. It was so good. It was so good that I remember the next day at school, I just could not wait to get home. I wanted to get a piece of bread and put butter on it and then salt and pepper and then have a cold roast sandwich. It's so good. It really used to be one of my favorite things to eat when I used to eat meat, was just like a really cold roast sandwich on buttered bread with salt and pepper. So good. So I got home, and this is another time we were living in a trailer. This is after we lived in a turkey barn. We actually lived in a turkey barn, but we had managed to get ourselves into another single wide trailer. And I ran home from school. I got dropped off at the bus and ran up to the trailer, and I went right straight to the kitchen, got the bread out, got the butter out, got the roast out. And while I'm getting everything ready, I'm picking at the roast and I'm eating it. And I took the first bite. It was like, it tasted bad. It tasted gross. And just as I was getting ready to dump the whole thing in the trash, my mother comes in. She's like, "Stop!" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Don't throw it away." I said, "Mom, it's bad. It tastes horrible." She goes, "No, it's just the way the meat is." I was like, "No, Mom, you gotta taste this. This is bad." She explained to me, it's not that it's bad. It's just a little gamey. And I was like, "Wait a minute, gamey. It wasn't beef." While I was gone to school that day, the day prior, somebody hit a deer. Somebody hit a big buck and just left it on the side of the road. And my dad driving along and the other guy who lived on the farm where we lived, they're like, "Hey, why don't you say we pull over and dress that thing out?" Neither one of them had ever dressed out a deer. And of course, there are like scent sacks and stuff to take into consideration. Venison is a gamey meat anyways, and God knows how long it'd been sitting there. So we were eating roadkill. And so my mom said, "Don't throw it away. It was still good." Well, I never ate venison again. I wouldn't have eaten venison in the first place. That's why they never told me it was venison. The only other time I had venison was, I didn't know it was venison, but a kid at school had homemade beef jerky. He's like, "You want some beef jerky?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he gave me a piece of beef jerky that his dad had made, and it was venison, and it had a big chunk of fat on the end of it. And I remember biting into the beef jerky, and then you know how cold gamey fat, all stuck on the roof of my mouth. Ugh. Never had it again. Okay, we were talking about the moose. It's the antlers. They get stuck in your throat. That's how I'm going to die, Did you know that? I've dreamt it more than once. More than once I've dreamt that. My cancer doesn't scare me. Hitting a deer and having it come through the windshield and impale me. And the more I try to free it because I feel bad for it, the more it thrashes and the more we kill each other. That's how I die. And I've told people I've dreamt it 3-4 times now. And so that's got to be the way I'm going to go. I got food poisoning at El Chica's Mexican restaurant. Only thing different I ate was sour cream. I couldn't stomach the idea of going to that restaurant, but I did go to one in a different city once. My dad got really bad food poisoning when I was about 12 or 13. My dad always drank his coffee with cream and sugar. And after he got this food poisoning, he could only drink his coffee black. He could never have tea and sugar in his coffee ever again. And just it did something to him. I got really sick on a piece of chicken one time. And I'm talking like 7 months pregnant, and like it was like The Exorcism with the pea soup, but with chicken. And I didn't eat chicken again for years. It took me a long time. And I was telling my mother-in-law, "There's something wrong with this chicken." She's like, "Shut up and eat it. It's fine. You ungrateful brat." No, I got so terribly sick. Oh my gosh. It's been a while though since knock on wood, been a while since I've gotten sick. I can't handle sage. I made a sage and pumpkin soup when I was pregnant and you got sick, and now it triggers you, doesn't it? Off the Wall Prepper, good morning. Good morning. Merry Christmas. We're talking all kinds of fun stuff. Growing up poor and eating roadkill, getting food poisoning, the woes of fish rotting in your freezer in the middle of Hope and Cattle Country, Arizona, and sharing a mail call and having this delicious tea. What was this tea again? Day 21 is hazelnut chocolate tea. It is lovely. All right, friend. Not sure long how you're going to be offline. Well, take care of yourself. I will see you soon. If I don't see you or hear from you till after the holidays, have a lovely, lovely holiday. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to talk about one more thing for the few of you that are still here. I don't get very many visitors here to the farm very often at all, so I've kind of gotten really lax. Like I showed you before that, all of the meals in a jar that I did the other day, they're still sitting on that counter over there. They haven't even made it into the pantry, which is right there. And so I decided, starting the first of the year, I'm going to have a calendar and have a task for every day of the calendar. So for instance, the first task I'm going to put on the calendar is the 1st of January, and it'll be the first of every month. Scrub out my shower. It's just Papa Jim and I. The shower doesn't get terribly bad, but I should once a month really make that solution of the Dawn and the vinegar and the hot water, spray it down, wipe it down, make sure everything's in its place, and clean it up once a month. Well, I don't, and I should. And another entry on the calendar is going to be, once a month, give my refrigerator a good decluttering. I only do it every so often because I just don't bother. So I want to know from you guys. And if you think about it and you can't think about it during our chat today, if you want to come back and put it in the description box, do that. Not the description box, the comment box later. What are some things you think are important that are not everyday tasks that you should do once a month? Once a month, weather permitting, I'll make sure I clean out my car real good. They have those little declutter calendars, like clean out your junk drawer, do this, do that. So I'm going to fill my calendar up with a daily task. And then I might go live and do it. Who knows? People watch the strangest things. People will declutter underneath their bathroom cabinet and they'll get like 50,000 views. It's like, what is so interesting about watching somebody clean underneath their bathroom cabinet? I don't know, but people do it. So if I'm going to clean something, I might as well film it and see what happens. So think about, have a good one. I want to tell you that your Laura Ingalls Wilder special was awesome, and we watched it together and truly enjoyed it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. There's more. There's more coming because that was just one interview. I've got more interviews. I had some really great access to some things that people don't get to do. And so there's more coming. I've got so much footage to go through. It isn't even funny, but I really did enjoy going to Laura Ingalls. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And it was really neat that they found something historical that had been just overlooked all those years. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. It's pretty neat. All right. Good night, Major. It was good seeing you and having you stop in. I appreciate it. I liked hazelnut, but one day my boss got hazelnut coffee and I took a big drink and not knowing, and you hate hazelnut now. I have to be in a mood for hazelnut. I got to admit. It's one of those ones where it's got to hit you just right. Like if you give me a choice between creamers for my coffee, I'll usually pick something else before I pick hazelnut. But if hazelnut's there, I will drink it as opposed to just having regular creamer. But I do have a dear friend that loves hazelnut coffee, the hazelnut creamer. And that was really the only place I ever drank hazelnut creamer. And we used to go hang out with them all the time. We, Halloween parties and barbecues, and they'd invite us over for Thanksgiving. And we'd sleep over, and in the morning we'd wake up and she'd have coffee, and she and I would just kind of like get under blankets and cuddle on the couch and tuck our feet up and chit chat like girls do. And it takes me back to those happy memories of spending time with my friend. And so that's usually if I'm in a nostalgic mood, or if hazelnut is all there is, I'll have the hazelnut, and it just instantly transports me back to her home and just having those really nice cuddle up chit chat times on the couch early in the morning while it's cold out and just having your cup of coffee. All right, Off the Wall Prepper, it's good to see you. And it's getting time for me to finish up anyway, so it's good deal. Oh, but now Rochelle's back. I liked hazelnut cappuccino, but not now. Isn't that funny how things just hit you? That's like, I don't think I could do the Earl Grey tea again. It's not my favorite. I don't know what it was, but it set me off. So there are things that just do that. There are things I cannot handle. One of them being the fish. Can't do fish. But there are other things that I like. And this little tea, this chocolate hazelnut, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite, The favorite was still the 9 organic berries. That one was wonderful. It was great. But I'm finishing this one. Papa Jim came home yesterday. I had about that much tea left over from yesterday. He goes, "You didn't like your tea today?" I said, "Didn't like it. That's like my second cup." I brewed more and drank it because that sleigh ride was really, really good. So, all right, friends. So we've had our mail call. We've had our advent calendar. We've had our tea for the day. We shared a couple of stories. And I'd like to thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching this on a replay, A, thumbs up. B, make sure you're subscribed because YouTube has been taking subscribers away. So double check, make sure you're still subscribed. And then C, put in the comments, what are some things you think I should add to my calendar for my daily, it's not necessarily a purge, but my daily cleaning thing for each day of a month. All right. So, all right, friends, I will talk to you tomorrow. It's like the music. There's a crescendo at the music, like we're coming to the end of a wonderful concert. It's like prophetic. Isn't it wonderful? I will see you guys tomorrow. Till then, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a blessed day. And just know that I love you guys very much. All right. Bye, friends. And broadcast.